on to the next stack, we have Ella Enchanted. Another kind of guilty pleasure, but I adore this movie. It's so cute. Anne Hathaway's in it, which I'm not a huge Anne Hathaway fan. But Hugh Dancy, oh my gosh, Hugh Dancy is just adorable. Adorable. Hugh Dancy's adorable. And this film is just so cute. So if you like kind of movies with fairy tale twist kind of things, watch Ella Enchanted. It's based on the novel of the same name that a lot of people were in elementary school. And it's just really charming and funny and great. I just love it. So watch it because I love it. Next up, Ever After, another Cinderella story. I have a thing with Cinderella kind of movies. I'm seeing now a pattern. But I adore this. It's got Drew Barrymore and Dougray Scott. And it's a twist on the Cinderella story again. And it's just a classic. Ever After is a classic and it's so great. So great. So great. It just warms your heart. So if you haven't seen Ever After, it's a must watch. Another film by David O. Russell, my favorite director, which I haven't opened this, but I have seen this movie before. It's The Fighter. Christian Bale won a Best Supporting Actor Oscar for this, and Mark Wahlberg and Melissa Leo, who won the Best Supporting Actress Oscar for this film, were all great. And this is based on a true story of Mickey and Dickie? What are their last names? Mickey Ward and Dickie Edlin, there we go. And they're boxers. Both, and they're brothers. It's just really good. Trust me. If you like David O. Russell, if you like Mark Wahlberg or Christian Bale, or if you just like movies about boxing, watch this. It's great. Also, Dysfunctional Families. And if you like movies based on a true story, of course, watch it. Next up, Glee The Concert. This is a very bittersweet disc to watch. It's basically the Glee 3D concert they aired years ago when Glee was super popular. First season. This has Corey Monteith in it. So it's always bittersweet to watch because you see Corey on screen. He's just amazing and beautiful and you know that you're never going to see him again besides on disc. But it's got a lot of the most popular songs performed on it, and it's just amazing to see how great they are live, how great their voices are live. It's just amazing. And I'm a huge Gleek. I love Glee, so that's it. And next up, I think this wasn't very popular. It didn't really get a lot of attention, but it's Glee Encore. It's basically just all their most popular performances from the first season, and you can just watch the performances. You don't have to watch the episodes. So that's kind of nice to have, just if you want to watch a certain song or whatever, and you don't want to watch the whole episode. There you go, get that. Hairspray, another musical. I was obsessed with this when it came out, but now I'm kind of like, eh. But most of the actors did a great job. John Travolta is doing like a, well, can't think. He's dressed as a woman, plays a woman, but he's like one of the best parts of this film. Music is catchy. It's based off the Broadway play in the original Hairspray film. And yeah, if you like musicals, just watch it. I gotta quit waffling about it. Now, this is the only Harry Potter film I own. So you're probably like, what the hell, Alyssa? Why do you have this one? But actually, this is my favorite one, okay? But it's Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, the fourth film. I don't know why this is my favorite, but it is. I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan. I'm going to get a lot of hate for that. I used to be when I was little, but now I'm just kind of like, too magical. I don't like stuff that's too fantastical. I like stuff that's grounded in reality, and this is just a little too fantastical for my tastes. But I do like this film. Okay, now we're moving on to a Studio Ghibli film. I'm a huge Studio Ghibli fan and Hayao Miyazaki fan. I'm so sad that he retired. But this is one of my favorites, probably my favorite Studio Ghibli film. And it's Howl's Moving Castle. Amazing, it's beautiful, it's moving. If you haven't seen it, watch it because you'll fall in love with it. It's amazing. And it's based off the book. And the book's amazing as well. So read the book also, but this is incredible. And Studio Ghibli also happens to be on my Disney, so there you go. That's another reason I'm obsessed with Disney. Next up, we have The Hunger Games. Now, you saw the second one in my Blu-ray collection, but this one was the starting point of the film franchise, and it's so good. So good. Second one's better. This is good. It introduces everyone to Katniss and Gale and Peeta and all those characters. Introduces the world to the Hunger Games. It's very emotional, amazing soundtrack. It's a must watch. And next up is Indie Game the Movie. Now this is a documentary that focuses on Phil Fish, who is very much hated in the video game industry right now, pretty much. And if he's watching this, I'm sorry, Phil Fish. Please don't kill me. And it also has Tommy Ruffin and Ed McMillan from Team Meat and Jonathan Blow from, I think he changed his company's name to Number None Inc. It used to be Thekla Inc. But he made Braid and The Witness, which hasn't released yet. But it's so fascinating to see how these games were made and what the developers went through and how they handled the game conferences and all this stuff. And if you're a gamer, a hardcore gamer, or you're interested in video game development or whatever, watch this. It's incredible. I've seen it about 4 times now and it never gets old. It's just really inspirational and it's really fun to watch. Now we have In the Land of Women. I was actually very pleasantly surprised by this film. It's very touching and it's kind of like Adam Brody's character falls in love with a mother and her daughter. So it's kind of incestuous, kind of. But it's really good, really touching. I loved it. It's kind of like a romantic comedy, tragedy movie. It's really good. Now, this is the first R-rated movie I saw, and that was when I was 16 because I set a limit for myself for some reason that I couldn't watch R-rated movies until I was 16. Keep in mind, I set that rule for myself. My parents did not set that rule. Everyone should have known I had OCD by then, okay? But they didn't. But it's Into the Wild. I really wanted to see this because of Kristen Stewart, who used to be one of my favorite actresses. But Emile Hirsch is phenomenal in this. I read the novel, which I like the novel. It's just kind of confusing sometimes. The film, in my opinion, is better. But I just love Emile Hirsch's performance. He's an amazing actor. It's a tough movie to watch, but if you can handle it, watch it. It's so inspirational. Based on a true story. And it is sad. It's sad and it's painful. But it's so good. So yeah, watch Into the Wild if you haven't yet. It was directed by Sean Penn, but don't let that deter you. I know a lot of people don't like Sean Penn. I don't like Sean Penn, but this is a fantastic film. Next up, we have Jeff Dunham's Spark of Insanity. This is a comedy special from Jeff Dunham. He's the guy who has all the different puppets and like Ahmed the Terrorist, which I'm not should have said. And he's got like Peanut and Walter and all these other different puppets. We did have the first Jeff Dunham film. I don't know where it went. I searched for it. This is the second one. It's really funny though. I love Jeff Dunham. So if you're into stand-up comedy, check out Jeff Dunham if you haven't. You might like him, you might not. It's okay if you don't. Next movie is one of my favorites, but it's Juno. I've seen it so many times, it's crazy. This is the movie that made Ellen Page and Michael Cera stars, and it's just really touching. It's about teen pregnancy. She's giving the baby up for adoption. Everyone knows the story. Unless you haven't seen the film, then you need to watch it. It's Jason Reitman's best film. Diablo Cody did an amazing job writing the screenplay. It's great. Watch it. Now we have one of the best superhero / not superhero movies that has been made, and that's Kick-Ass. I love this. I enjoyed the second one, but it's nowhere near as good as the original. And it's just about the story of a guy who decides to become a superhero named Kick-Ass. And it's just so action-packed, and it's quite gory at times. It is very foul. The language, oh my gosh, crazy language. I love Hit Girl, who is played by Chloe Grace Moretz. So watch it if you like balls to the wall kind of action movies that are just insane, and you know, if you're not afraid of gore and language, definitely watch it. It's a must watch. It's really fun. And then we have Legion, a kind of B movie, but it's actually surprisingly very entertaining. It's basically about just, you know, people becoming possessed, and I thought I saw someone outside and I was about to scream. But it's just a towel blowing in the wind out there. But it's about people becoming possessed, basically, by these, I think it's angels? I'm not really sure. It's demons. Okay, it's demons, and the main character, Legion, is an archangel. So, yeah. It's good. Kind of confusing, kind of cheesy, but it's good. Watch it if you like B movies, like I said. Next up, the first horror film I ever watched because I was a sissy and didn't watch horror movies until I was like 14. That's The Messenger, so again, Kristen Stewart in it. And I actually did have nightmares the first night after watching this, but I've watched it since and it doesn't scare me anymore. Basically a haunted house type of film. It's pretty good. I didn't like the second one. And why did I put my initials on the back of this? I put AW on the back. Was I afraid someone would steal this or something? I don't know. But I love this film, actually. I really love it. I guess I thought someone would steal it. I don't know why I put my initials on it. Next up, Monica and David. Such a touching documentary. It's about Monica and David. They're a married couple and they both have Down syndrome. It's just really touching. So if you like documentaries and you want to know more about Down syndrome and the effects of Down syndrome and you want to see a great love story, a true love story, check out Monica and David. It's well worth the watch. I've watched it several times and it's just amazing. Next up is a very girly movie. So I'm sure most of you guys haven't seen it. But girls, if you need a cute girly movie to watch with your girlfriends, pick this up. It's Monte Carlo. Selena Gomez's character is the main character. She wants to go to France. So she takes her two best friends, Katie Cassidy and Leighton Meester. They go to Paris and Monte Carlo and all that. There's cute guys. Corey Monteith is in this, which is why I have this because, you know, very sad that he passed away. But yeah, it's really cute, really kind of goofy, but it's really, really fun to watch with a bunch of girlfriends. It's just awesome. Now, my favorite B movie of all time, Never Cry Werewolf. Has my girl crush Nina Dobrev in it. But it's so cheesy. It's like, it's so bad it's good. And it's just about a girl who thinks her neighbor is a werewolf and all this stuff. She hires a werewolf hunter who's not actually a hunter at all. He's just faking it to be famous. And it's just the story of those two, basically. It's stupid, but it's good, cheesy, B-movie, gory fun. I love it. Check it out. It's my favorite B-movie, so check it out. Now, a true classic film, The Nightmare Before Christmas. I adore this film. I've seen it so many times. You can watch it on Halloween or at Christmas because it incorporates both holidays. If you haven't seen this movie, you're crazy because it's amazing and you need to watch it right now. But if you didn't know, Tim Burton almost went bankrupt making this film because it was so ambitious for that time. It's stop motion animation and he actually hired the music composer Danny Elfman to voice Jack Skellington because he couldn't hire an actual actor to voice the character. He was so bankrupt. But it turned out to be a masterpiece and a classic and it's amazing. So watch it because it's amazing and it's Disney. So do it. Now we have The Notebook. Another one of my favorite Nicholas Sparks movies is, of course, a tearjerker, a romantic movie. And, you know, it's just amazing. It's amazing. It's very touching, and I love it to pieces. Watched it so many times. It's crazy. Now we have Panic Room, starring a young Kristen Stewart, Jodie Foster, and Jared Leto. It's about a family a mom and daughter who get, you know, their home gets robbed by 3 robbers, bandits, whatever, and they go and hide in their panic room. And these robbers are threatening them and doing certain things to try to get them out of the panic room because that panic room has a bunch of money in it. And it's just crazy. But it's a really good action film. Horror. It's not really horror. It's a thriller film. But it's really good, actually. I think this film has the most F words I've ever heard, though, in it. I think it's got the most F words in it that I've ever heard in a film. Ever. But it's still really good. Next up, I'll just grab these because they're part of a series. We have Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, and Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. I do not have on Stranger Tides because I didn't like that movie. Everyone knows the story of Jack Sparrow and the pirate age of the film, so if you haven't seen it, watch them. They're fun. The Princess Bride. Again, I've seen this several times, but not this certain DVD because it's still wrapped up. But it's really touching. It's classic. If you haven't seen it, you have to watch it. It's just so touching. So touching. It's amazing. And lastly, for these 2 stacks, is Resident Evil Degeneration. It's a CG movie. It's really good. Really, really good. I liked it way more than I thought I would, and it's got Claire Redfield in it, and it's basically about how I forget when it takes place. Is it after Code Veronica X? I think so. But it's basically Claire meeting up with Leon Kennedy, and they have to defeat the G virus that is brought in through an airport, and it's just really good, actually. I was surprised at how good this is. It's just really, really good. So if you like Resident Evil, definitely watch this movie.